Well, hello, friends. It's your pal Hope again with another Instant Pot recipe that comes together in just minutes. I tell you, I have mentioned chapter and verse time and again how much I love the Instant Pot and frankly how life-changing it has been for me and for my family because they are the beneficiaries of such things and friends as well. I am not lying about this. I am as serious as they come. Instant Pot meals take all the guesswork out. They take all the multi-pot cleanup work out. It's an amazing little feat and a little pressure cooker. So let's get right to it. Today, I will be making Instant Pot penne and veggie meatballs. And I'm not making it for myself. As you can tell, it's the middle of the afternoon here right now. One of our dear friends, one of Lily's and my dear friends, has just returned home from emergency gallbladder surgery. So we are going to bring her a comforting meal of penne and meatballs at her leisure, just to kind of help get her back on her feet. And frankly, I can think of no better recipe to restore somebody to health than this Instant Pot penne and meatballs. So let's get started. Yet again, I'm going to have to apologize in advance that this is not going to be a very complicated recipe. I promise you. It's yet again going to be a rather embarrassing feat for me, and that is going to take no time at all and be, if I do say so myself, so tasty that I wish I had actually made 2 batches of this so that Lily and I could have eaten it tonight as well. But I didn't. I just have the one clump of ingredients, so we're just going to have to go with it. But I know that our good friend Heidi will enjoy it. So we hope you get well soon, Heidi, and let us get on with the recipe. You're going to need a few things, and I'll introduce you to all of these first, and then we can take them all in turn. So one thing that you'll need are veggie meatballs. So I love the frozen Gardein brand. I don't find that there's much I have to do to them at all. I can just set and forget. So this is a major thing for me. Penne or rotini. You can really do any kind of shorter pasta, or bow tie maybe. I just always gravitate toward the penne. I really like how it sits in this dish. I really like how it sets things up. So that's what I go with. But your mileage may vary. You can feel free to use whatever kind of pasta you like. Whole wheat, gluten-free, you name it, you can use it. Now, I have to say, before I bring up this next ingredient, oftentimes I make my own pasta sauce. I do it on the stove. I put together a nice tomato sauce. I add spices and herbs to my liking. Sometimes I just phone it in, however. Okay, no, you know what? I'm not going to be so hard on myself. I'm not phoning it in. What I am doing is saving myself time on occasion to do other things. Now, in this case, on this particular day, as I'm filming this, I am saving time in the kitchen in order to get back to watch a World Cup women's soccer game here in a few minutes that is currently at halftime. So as you see, with this Instant Pot meal, time is of the essence, my friends. So with all that long preamble, may I recommend our friends from Ragu. Now, I do not receive money from any of these things, I promise you. But I just always end up coming back to this Ragu, which is a tomato, garlic, and onion. It's vegetarian, doesn't have any meat, doesn't have any cheese, and I feel like that it provides a nice hearty sauce, like one that frankly I would make, which is also built on my mother's recipe. Now, she diligently makes her own sauce every single time. So yet again, as I feel like I do at least once on every one of these videos, I'm so sorry, Mother, that I am going the pre-made route on this, but it is for a good cause, and the end result ends up being fantastic. So, with that long preamble, finally, now this is currently an empty measuring cup, but you will use 3 cups of water, and I'll run over to the tiny kitchen sink to take them in turn when appropriate. Now, other things you can do, you can put in mushrooms, you could put in olives, you could put in bell peppers, really you name it. Now, our friend is allergic to mushrooms, and so I will not be doing that because I love our friend and do not wish to cause her harm or ill. So I will not be doing that. But there are plenty of other things you can put on top of this, or to dress it up, dress it down, change it around a little bit. The opportunities are endless. Chop up some veggie sausage into coins maybe and put it in there instead of the meatballs. You name it, you can do it. But here's what we're going to do for now. So I'll take these ingredients in turn and show you kind of how it all works out. So the first thing you'll do is take the veggie meatballs and open them up and just simply put them at the bottom of your Instant Pot. And I'll show you what this all looks like in the end here. I'll just put that away to be thrown away. I beg your pardon. Now, next is those 3 cups of water. So please excuse my back as I run back and forth to the sink. Now, I say run back and forth to the sink. I can really just reach it straight out of range. So this is a tiny kitchen. So excuse me just a moment, and we'll just kind of chat. How is your day going? What are you eating today? Okay, we have 1 cup. And now I will say, sometimes I have forgotten to do this entirely, and I've ended up with generally not too ill of an effect, though it does come out a bit dry. And then I'll just put in a 3rd cup. At least I think this is 3. Have you been counting? I have not really been counting. It could be 3, could be 4. Who knows? All right, 3 cups of water. And what you really need the water for is for the pasta to cook. I mean, duh, like it kind of makes sense. But then the Instant Pot is so magical that sometimes you wonder, like, do I need it at all? Well, you do, in fact. And like I said, I've done it sometimes. I know for a fact I have forgotten the water and have ended up, perhaps my pasta was a little more al dente than usual, but it ended up okay. But please, do not make my mistakes. Do as I say, not as I do on this, and put in your 3 cups of water. So with that preamble, then we'll put in the penne on top. And just put it in, you know, and just kind of smooth it around a little bit if you like, if it needs it. But this appears to come in one nice clump, so we're just going to do that. And then on top of it all, you'll put your tomato sauce, either store-bought or homemade, but, you know, we're going to use store-bought today. And there's nothing wrong with that, my friends. And you just kind of pour it, excuse me, evenly across the sauce. There's not really, or across the pasta rather, there's not really a lot of magic to it. And then what you can do is take a spoon and just kind of smooth out the top. I'd like a bigger spoon than that. Thank you. There we are. And just kind of smooth out the top so that all of your pasta is covered in sauce. And then it is time to put the lid on. But first I will show you. Please excuse my camera angle here. I will show you what that looks like. So you see it is just simply covered. No magic to it, just layered up one piece by piece. And then what you will do, my friends, is you will take the top, which, excuse me, is out of range here. Oh yes, do you hear that song? Now you're going to hear my favorite song now. Oh, isn't that lovely? Okay, and then, friends, the hard part begins. You'll hit pressure cook and you'll run it on high. And you'll run it for 6 to 7 minutes. 6 is more al dente. 7 is like cooked, you know, like very, very floppy penne. I like mine on 6 because also I'm not sure when our friend is going to have an opportunity to eat this. And if I kind of overcook it now, it's not really going to have an opportunity to kind of settle in. Without just becoming a complete mushy mess. So I'm going to cook it at al dente for 6 minutes, high pressure cook. Bump that up to 6 because it was already on 4. And then it will count down in a moment. We'll listen for that. Oh yes. And that simply is it. All you will do now is wait for it to come to pressure, wait for it to cook. And then I will meet you back here in a couple of minutes. We'll see how far we've gotten in the soccer game between now and then. Once this chimes, I will meet you back here. So go enjoy yourself, and we'll see you in a minute. Well, I hope that you had as much fun as I did on our little break while we waited for the Instant Pot to come to pressure and cook. I have thoroughly enjoyed a good 20 to 25 minutes of the soccer game. It had just come back from the half, you see, at the time that I had finished prepping everything and the time that we had parted from one another for a little break. So now we're back and the Instant Pot has just gone off and I have just turned it off so it does not continue to go on to warm because you can, you know, toggle that on and off. So I have canceled the order. So now what I'm going to do is release the pressure at once. And this is always one of my favorite parts, you see. So let us do this and let us see if the camera can catch some of the steam and excitement. Ooh, yes. So nice. Now I'm sure you can hear that and probably perhaps see some steam coming around. And I hope that you can hear me over the steam. So with most pasta dishes, what you're going to want to do is release the pressure promptly. Because if you don't, here we come back to that really loose kind of mealy almost pasta when you let it overcook. Ideally, this is going to be al dente because, as I said, I'm going to put this in the, once it cools, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and then we'll deliver it to our friends so she can eat it at her leisure. So she's working about a day ahead as far as meals go at the moment. So what I didn't want is this to become overly cooked so that then it sits in the fridge, and then when she heats it up again, it's like just mealy and gross and like too overcooked. Because I do love some cooked pasta. Like, it doesn't have to be al dente for me, but you know, there can be too much of a good thing. And if you let this go too long, well, that's what happens. So the pressure releases, as you can see, pretty quickly, pretty swiftly, not, you know, without a lot of like moisture, and you know, it's not like a soup. And we'll get to soups, believe me, I've got some of those recipes up my sleeve as well. You know, soups just go all over the place if you let it go right away, so you need to let the pressure kind of rest and come down naturally on those. This, not so much. Let her rip. Open it up and just full throttle, baby. So it's beginning to wind down now, and I'll show you the finished product. It's a crowd pleaser, I have to say. Like, we've served it, I mean, obviously Lily and I have been vegetarian for ages. We serve this to friends at dinner parties. We've served it for my family over the holidays when they've come up for a visit. It's just a weeknight meal for Lily and me. We have served it. It's kind of one of our go-tos, honestly, for friends that are just getting out of the hospital or have been ill or undergoing treatment for something, or just having a rough day and you want to perk them up. This is a good way to do it. Now the pen is just dropped, so I'm going to open this up, stir it around, and then show you what it looks like. Oh yes, that's such a happy sound. Now please excuse me as I put this down on the counter. Be right back with you. I can see it bubbling over there. That's very exciting. So what I'm going to do is stir it up before I show you. And you will want to do that because remember, I mean, this cooks, but it doesn't like mix all in. I mean, that's the beauty of the pressure cooker, is it takes care of itself layer by layer by layer. One thing that I meant to mention also is that there's the use of tomato-based sauces in the pressure cooker is a little bit frowned upon, because sometimes what can happen if you don't put enough water, here we come back to that water thing again, is that it tends to stick on the bottom and burn, and you get that awful little burn notice on the screen, all in lowercase, burn, and it just is judging you, and it's humiliating, frankly, friends. So you don't want that. So that I've never had a problem, knock wood, I have never once had a problem with this recipe burning by any stretch of the imagination, but the water does help with that. So that's another reason not to forego the water like I did that one time. Okay, this is nicely stirred up now, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Here we are. Now you see that there? You can have a lot of nice meatballs in there. The pasta is perfectly al dente, I have to tell you. I'll get this camera right one of these days, guys. The sauce has commingled beautifully. It's just a really nice, flavorful, but also light dish. So I'm gonna let this cool a little bit. And you know, just so it doesn't melt our our containers, and then I'll put it in the fridge and we'll deliver it to Heidi post haste for her to enjoy whenever she likes. And I hope that you will enjoy it as well. And as always, if you have questions, comments, suggestions, ideas, improvements to this recipe, let's hear them. Fire them off in the comments. I feel like many heads are better than one, and I cannot wait to hear your suggestions and ideas. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoy this recipe as much as we do. I hope it becomes a staple in your home just as much as it has become a staple in ours. And we'll talk soon. Have a good day, guys.